Hi everyone, this is Ethan. For all those who don't know me, I am pre-T and I am transgender FTM. I have used the YouTube through the internet as a resource and have watched a lot of documentaries, and I just would like to say thanks to everyone that I've subscribed to, and those who don't even know that I have viewed your documentaries. I encourage you to continue your journey. And if you can, document them, because it really helps people, especially when they don't have a lot of resources. And so I'm just going to give you a little brief history on myself. I am going to be 50 years old here in about a week or so. And I was born just like all the rest of you, feeling like a boy. I went through similar experiences. And I was... In my day, we were forced to wear, girls had to wear dresses to school up until the 4th grade. And once I went into the 5th grade, or actually once in the 4th grade at the end of the year, they lifted that and girls could wear pants. Never saw me in a dress again until we are close to my dad's side of the family, and they are churchgoers. So my parents didn't force us, but they allowed us to go to church, and so that's where I'd wear my dresses. Basically, I'm like everybody else, but maybe I handle things different. I always knew that I was different, but there was just things you didn't talk about when I was growing up. I was growing up in the 60s and the 70s, so you have to understand we didn't have a lot of resources. People weren't real open, and I grew up in a town that was pretty conservative, so even though I knew I was different, I also knew that people didn't perceive me the way I was on the inside. So I kind of just filed things when I would get upset, frustrated, depressed, have anxiety. I kind of took it for the moment, filed it, and just kept trying to push through, because I learned how to have faith and depend in God, and I believe in God, and He's been my best friend through all of my hurts, aches, all my adversities in my life. So that's one thing I have to be thankful for as far as growing up in church is concerned. I'm not a religious person, but I am a very spiritual person. So that being said, as I hit puberty, when Mother Nature came to call, I was 14 years old. I was an athlete, so they told my mother that I'd probably start later. And when I did, it was terrible. It was just terrible. It was another thing, another adversity in my life that I had to overcome. And I never really actually overcame, but I filed it. And so then when I got to the age where you date and stuff, I tried to date, but you know, every time I kissed a guy, I felt like I was kissing the same sex. And I'd always break it up. I just couldn't pretend to be someone I wasn't. So I got my first relationship right out of high school, 18. I did not know what gay, lesbian, queer, bisexual, any of that meant. Again, I lived in a conservative town, and we didn't have a lot of resources. And so I just dated, and then, in my first relationship out of high school, I actually got into the relationship with my church counselor, one of the church counselors out of town. And we were in that relationship for 5 years. Didn't work out because of biblical scriptures. And then I got into another relationship. Well, there's many relationships, but long story short, I lived the gay life because that was the closest thing to being normal to me because of my attraction for women. Not one woman I've ever been with treated me like a woman. I don't know how to say that to describe that any more than they didn't want to fondle, and they didn't, you know, I was just different, and they accepted that and didn't ask for any more than that. So I think they actually fell in love with my strengths and stuff, and the kind and caring person I am, because I believe in adversities build a person's strength. You can either fall or you can get up and push on, and I chose to get up and push on. So anyway, as I went into those relationships and they failed, I decided at 28 years old, I had talked to my mom that I was going to transition. And so we checked into surgeries, and they were outrageous. And I didn't have a career. I worked, but I didn't bring home a lot of money. So I just didn't think it would ever be for me. So again, I just packed it away, and I kept pushing forward. So when I hit about 35 years old, I got tired of working in the women's world, and I went into a men's world. And it was a high security job, but I was comfortable, I felt good, I was confident, and they treated me with respect. There was no ridicule, there was no demeaning. I just enjoyed it, and people got to know me, kind of probably saw that strange, strong, masculine side of me. And I wasn't really acknowledged as any gender, so it was never just really talked about. Well, at that time, I had let go of everything. I didn't have any expectations of what kind of women I wanted to be with. I was just done with it all and started concentrating on me. And that's when I met the woman that I would live the rest of my life with. And through the years, we've been together 14 years. We have talked about this. She knows exactly what I'm about. She loves me for who I am. And it wasn't until recently that we saw Chaz Bono. So I looked at her and said, man, I've never heard anybody talk like me. And I had heard the name transgender, but never really checked into it. So needless to say, I am in counseling through that. I am pre-T, should be starting T here in a week. I already have a surgery date for my top surgery in May. And I have all the support from my family. This is no news to them. The transition is going to be for all of us. My extended family, I've gotten some good support from them. And also all of our friends, lesbians, gays, we have horses, so we have horses out in the stables. All of our friends have just engulfed us with their love and their support. And I am blessed. I feel truly blessed. And I just want to let everyone know out there that is struggling with their transition, that are depressed because maybe they can't afford things, maybe things aren't going right in your family and stuff. The only advice I can give you is that no matter how other people treat you, always treat people good. Treat people how you want to be treated. Don't hold grudges. If you get angry and get over it, and then process and think about their side of things. That's how I've handled my life. You know, not everyone's going to understand us. We're, as I told my mom the other day, we are uniquely packaged, and it's because of our adversities that makes us into strong, caring, good people. And I hope that that is where you're at. Again, if you ever need anything, write me, let me know. I will respond. I just want to embrace you guys. Embrace your life. Even as a female, even though I've never seen myself as a woman, what I embrace is that I've learned to nurture. I've learned the sensitive side. I've learned, again, the adversity. I've pushed through them. And I just want to tell all my friends and family that are watching this, I love all of you. I thank all of you for being behind Tony and I in this transitioning part of our life. And I know that all of you are transitioning with me. And one day we'll get there and we'll just go on. And